The US Supreme Court has upheld a nationwide ban on TikTok that could see the ban removed from app stores across the US within days. North America correspondent Barbara Miller joins us now from Washington. Barb, what does this ban mean?
That is the big question, because this ban, now upheld by the Supreme Court, would come into effect on Sunday local time. That's in 2 days' time. So there are a number of possible scenarios, Mike. One is that users, and there are about 170 million of them here in the US, can still keep using the app. It's just that they will no longer be able to download it, and that anyone allowing them to download it, companies Apple and Google, would face significant fines. Another scenario is that TikTok pulls the plug essentially and the app goes dark. Or a third scenario is that a sale to a US company is announced at the very last minute, because this ban, which received wide bipartisan support when it was signed by President Biden, is on national security concerns. Members of Congress say, although no evidence has been produced of this, that the Chinese parent company ByteDance could access American users' data and could use that data, could essentially harvest the data. So very unclear right now what happens over the next not even 48 hours at this stage. The Biden administration has said it supports the continued use of TikTok. It just wants that to happen under American ownership. But it says, given the timing, because this ban is due to come into effect the day before President Biden steps down and President Trump, as he'll be, is sworn in, it's up to the next administration, they say, to implement the ban. Now, we've also heard from President-elect Trump. He said that this decision by the Supreme Court here, he says, was expected and should be respected, and that he would announce a decision in the not too distant future. One possible scenario is that he uses his executive order power to essentially suspend the ban for 60 or perhaps for 90 days. And we also heard from the CEO of TikTok. He certainly seems to be looking towards President Trump to save the day.
On behalf of everyone at TikTok and all our users across the country, I want to thank President Trump for his commitment to work with us to find a solution that keeps TikTok available in the United States. This is a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship.
And Barbara, there's been a change of plans to Donald Trump's inauguration.
That's right. Donald Trump has announced that the inauguration will take place indoors. That's in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol building. And that's because freezing temperatures are forecast for the U.S. Capitol, getting down to somewhere between -5 and -10 or 11 degrees Celsius. Now, the inauguration hasn't been moved indoors since 1985, since Ronald Reagan came to power. Clearly a pretty difficult decision for the incoming president, who, as we know, has a little bit of an obsession with crowd sizes. And in announcing this decision, he said that, he really had to make sure that people weren't harmed by standing out for what would be hours in freezing temperatures. But he said it will still be a beautiful experience, particularly for the large television audience. Now, of course, many people, supporters, have come into the Capitol for this event. So we're hoping to speak to a few of them and just get a sense of how they're feeling about this decision, because of course that means that they may have to themselves then watch it on television after all, after spending this time and money coming here.